I was just at the high school. She was like, no, no, no. She's like, we're not at the high school. We're across the street. And I'm like, okay, but the GPS told me that the address that you listed was over here. And these people also have a lot of buildings. So...
I spy with my little eye. A girly I can get cause she don't get too many likes. A curly headed cutie I could turn into my wife. Wait, that means forever, ever, hold up, never mind. Oh, I spy with my little eye.
Hey guys. So, how are y'all doing? I'm doing okay. So, as you may have seen in the title, I did DoorDash today. Okay, and no, I'm not like, oh, like I'm a dasher, like a delivery person. Like, that's not really my thing, but I did want to try it because, like, you know, how hard could it be? And it's not like difficult money to make, you know. So I'm thinking like, oh yeah, I can go drop off some stuff in the mornings, or like segment out a time in my day to go do some deliveries, make a little bit of extra cash or income, and, you know, either put it towards some bills or like put it in savings or something. So yeah, I thought I would try that out. And today was my first day, and woo-cha! Let me tell y'all, it was not like easy breezy cover girl. It was not, okay? Now, I won't say that it was difficult. Like, there are things that are difficult in this world, and that is not one of them. To be honest, I signed up for like DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Postmates. DoorDash was the one that got to me like first, and it was the main one that I was trying to do anyway because I actually use DoorDash here in Smyrna. So I kind of looked them up, and I saw a lot of good reviews. A lot of the reviews were coming from like Texas and everything. But they just, you know, they just lined it up like it was easy sign up. You just get in your car and you make deliveries. And that is what happened. But maybe, should I take my glasses off? Because y'all are seeing like the ring light. I done had them on all this time. I'll take it off in case it's bothering anybody. So you can choose shifts with them, right? And you can either just like press like start. You know what? I could probably show y'all. Excuse me. I don't plan on editing this either, y'all, because like today has been a longer day than I expected it to be. Like, it has been a bit more work than I expected it to be. Like, my mind is drained. Okay, so anyways, you get like a special Dasher app, and maybe if I keep doing this, maybe I'll make a video to tell y'all how to do it and all this other different stuff. But for right now, I'm trying not to be like too long-winded. But basically, you like go in the app. Oh, you can't even see. Oh well, you can see. And as you can see, like all those locations, you know, you get to choose where you want to do it. Obviously, I would want to do it in my area because I'm not trying to drive too far away. So I will say, like, it was a sign up. I downloaded the app and everything. Technically, you're supposed to go to orientation, but like people kept saying that, and I was like, well, nobody told me anything about orientation. I never got anything about it, and they were already sending me my items. So I was like, oh, maybe that's just in select cities. Maybe I don't have to go in. And it allowed me to start dashing today, and I did. But then I got an email today with like a last step. Sign up for orientation. I'm like, I already did this job. Like, what you mean sign up for orientation? But I guess I could go. And when I get there, I hope y'all not trying to hold me because I'm gonna be like, I already did this. I literally have already done the job without you. So even though I've heard the orientation can, like, depending upon what city you're in, it could range anywhere from like 15 minutes to like an hour. Because all they're doing is telling you, oh, this is what you have to do. Watch this video for best practices, which is literally like, use the bag. If you have a shirt, wear the shirt. You know, don't forget your card. Don't forget whatever. So I'm not gonna get into all that. The point is though, I technically supposed to go to orientation. I didn't go to orientation, and I may be going to orientation in the future, but I didn't go. So I just started today kind of with the knowledge that I got from YouTube, which, I mean, that's how I learn anything. I look it up myself, I figure it out, and then I do it. So I just started at 10, which ended up being more so like 10:30 for me. And they have different hotspots. So the first thing that I had to deal with, and to be honest, the experience for you or for somebody else would probably not even be that bad if you're doing everything right. You know what I'm saying? In the beginning, I was not doing everything like, you know how you have this thing in your mind of how something is going to go, how something should go. It could have gone like that, but it did not. I had all of these things and it just didn't go that way. So in my mind, and you know, that was the Lord probably trying to tell me, I knew that a hot spot was gonna be where I usually drop off my packages at the post office. But it's by that Chick-fil-A. There's a Chick-fil-A, there's a bunch of restaurants over there. It's across from the mall. And so I'm like, yo, this has to be a hot spot. There's no way that this is not a hot spot. Because for one, like I told y'all, I've ordered I've ordered Chipotle and PF Chang's. And the PF Chang's is at the mall. The Chipotle is across the street. And then literally all of these other restaurants are there. And so I'm like, that has to be a hotspot. Well, this morning, the app was trying to tell me that one of the hotspots, now I didn't know that they have like all these hotspots. And in the beginning, it only shows you the initial hotspot. Like you can click on something. Again, I might talk about it in another video, but you can click on something to see the other ones, but I didn't know that at first. And so it was just showing me the one. And so I'm like, oh, that's weird. This hotspot is not where I thought it was gonna be at. But I'll just go there because it was literally like not even 5 minutes away from me, right? So I'm gonna drive to this spot. I'm en route and I'm just like, yo, I wonder where this hotspot is. This is crazy. I get to where the quote unquote hotspot is supposed to be. And one big thing about this is to know offhand, and again, if I make another video, I'll do probably like say an overall review or like a sign up thing, and then like some tips and stuff for you from my experience. But one of those tips would be, sis, bruh, listen, y'all know from y'all's regular life and from regular driving that homegirl on the GPS is a liar. I don't care which GPS thing you're using, whether it be Waze, whether it be Apple Maps, whether it be Google Maps. Homegirl from the UK is a liar. She likes to lie. Okay, she likes to lie. And so I'm going over there and I'm literally like driving in circles. Like, I get to the place where she quote unquote says, well, you know how sometimes too, if you drive somewhere, it'll tell you like turn left and you'll be there. But what they really mean is that that location is within a area of location. So like, when she's telling me to turn left, like where she's literally on the map, I'm looking at the map where she's telling me to go, I technically passed up the place. I'm like, how could I pass up the place if you just told me to go to this light and make a right? But now that I get up here where you told me to turn, and then you tell me that it's the wrong place, so turn around. So I'm doing that for a little bit, and then I realize she means it's within the place. I go within the place, and I'm like, she's saying this hotspot is near this quote-unquote restaurant. Then I have a restaurant right here. This ain't a restaurant. This is a Burlington's, and like a Pep Boys, and like a close down thing, and yada yada yada. So I'm like, she either lying or this place is behind a place and she got the wrong address. I don't know what it is. So then I realized, you know what? I don't think this is actually a hotspot. Like, I think maybe this place used to exist and you probably could get some orders if you're around here, but I don't think like what they're saying this is what it is. Okay, so that's that. I decided, you know what? And then I go back in the app and I figure out that you can look, like it tells you there are other hotspots. And guess what the other hotspot is? The place where I said that I was gonna go, that I go to drop off my mail and everything. I'm like, oh, if I would've just listened to myself, maybe to the Lord trying to tell me like, yo, this is where you need to go, then I would have been good. And so I'm en route so I realized I can go to that place. I'm en route to that place, which is not far. It's not like I'm driving like all over the place per se. But I drive to go that way, right? I'm en route and it tells me, because here's the thing, you have the DoorDash app, but obviously they use some form of maps. You can choose whatever one you want to use, and you have to use that app. So you're not in the app while you're doing that. Like you would think like, oh, once I'm using DoorDash is gonna be the map. Like the map is gonna work inside the app, and that's not how it works. But so anyway, I'm outside of the app while I'm driving. It tells me that I missed an order. And I was like, what? I didn't realize I didn't even get like a true notification for this order, which I guess I did, but it didn't come through like it should have, or like it would normally have, because I was using Waze. And it wasn't, I don't think I had my phone on loud, so it wasn't making the ding or whatever. And so I missed it, and then it told me like it was gonna resume, like it stops, it pauses the orders until you resume, because obviously they feel like if you've missed an order, then you're probably not in the app like you say you are. That happened. I missed the first opportunity, and then I got to where I was supposed to be, and I was like, okay, so I should have started here. And then as soon as I got there, order came in. Yo, I got the order, and it was easy, like, oh, let me just go to this restaurant and pick it up. Now, first of all, it was in Bindings at this like shopping center type place. I don't want to say shopping center. It's like if you're from Baton Rouge and you know, I say Baton Rouge, like literally anywhere, but if you're from Baton Rouge specifically and you're watching this, you know how Town Center is. And so basically, there's all these buildings and everything. So something can say, or even if Tanger, if you've been to any type of like shopping outlet mall or something, it's a little bit different. But if you've been to that mall, like the address to the mall is gonna be, say, 4200 Tanger Boulevard, right? But that's the address for all of those places that exist in that complex. And then each of them have their own like number. So like if someone puts that the address is this, and then you turn, or even if you say like, oh, I'm going to eggs, what's that place? Another Broken Egg, and you know Another Broken Egg is back there, but like where is it back here? Because as soon as you turn into the area, it's gonna say you've arrived at your destination. Okay, but I don't see what you're talking about. So now you have to drive within the area to find it. But anyway, that wasn't that bad. Like, I just drove straight and I was looking around and I found it. As soon as I got there, the food was ready. Now, one thing that did kind of was, I mean, it wasn't that bad, but like, it said that the food was going to be ready and supposed to be picked up by 10:44. Okay, but when I got the order, it was like at 10:44. So how am I gonna pick something up while I'm accepting it? That doesn't make any sense. So anyway, I pick up the order, boom, get in my car. Y'all, this was the one that really set off the badness. So I am picking up this food, and here's the thing. You're not really driving that far, right? But again, depending upon what your GPS tells you, and also the instructions that a person gives you, you could be all over the doggone place. So I drive to where the address is supposed to be. I get there, I'm looking at this woman's instructions. Now, I will give her credit to say that she did try to put extra instructions in there. You have to realize that, because this happened with me and my sister one time. One time she needed me to come pick her up from work, right? And she said, hey, come this way, make sure you come through this part of the garage. I'm gonna be on the 4th floor or whatever. Now, the thing is, when you're giving somebody instructions, you're giving them instructions based off of how you normally come. And depending upon whether or not you've taken multiple routes to get there, then you will only provide one set of instructions. So like, for example, if at my parents' house where we used to live, or even here, if I tell somebody to come here, I'm always coming through the front gate, period. That's just how I come here. That's how I get in. I know that's where the visitors thing is, and you can't really get in through the back. And so I'm gonna give you instructions to get here from coming from the front. Now, if you come from the back and you just don't happen to be able to get in behind somebody for whatever reason, then my instructions will not make sense to you. But you will expect that the GPS, which is supposed to have the correct address, is telling you where to go, and she's giving you the correct instructions, right? So, like, I now understand way more. Like, I wasn't tripping too much because I understood how people get lost, but I really understand now how people get lost. Like, I remember when I was trying to pick up my sister, she was like, I told you to do such and such, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, okay, but I didn't come in through that way. Like, you're not understanding. Like, I'm trying to understand what you're saying, but you're also not understanding what I'm saying. And she's like, you're passed up to such and such. No, because you didn't do what I told you to do. I was like, okay, but you don't understand that the way that I came in, and also the way that I came in is not the way that you initially said. I get that, but it's the way that the GPS took me. So I'm thinking that you and the GPS are in line with each other. Okay? So when this lady gave me her instructions, it was applicable to her location. But the GPS has that address assigned to like across the street. Okay? So to me, when it says, yo, make a left, I make a left. And there are all of these buildings, there's all this driveway to walk up to. And guess what? She said that she was in building 1. So I'm like, okay, I just gotta find building 1 or drive it around. Not really making much sense, but I'm gonna figure it out. This is what she told me to do. I ended up calling her and I said, hey, I'm sorry, you said you're in building 1, like, where is it? So she tried to explain it to me again. And I was like, oh. She was like, no. I was like, I was just at the high school. She was like, no. She's like, we're not at the high school. We're across the street. And I'm like, okay, but the GPS told me that the address that you listed was over here. And these people also have a lot of buildings. So, I was like, oh, okay, because she said the clock tower. I saw the clock tower from where I was at, but that's not exactly how she meant it, okay? So she tries to explain it to me again, but the other thing is, you know, lessons learned, like you also have to be very like in the moment, attentive, focused, and like don't let stuff like stir you up because it's just gonna make it worse. So like she was giving me other instructions on how to get there, but because I was so frazzled that like I'm already running late, like I don't want this to be a bad, you know, delivery, review, whatever. And I don't know where the heck I'm at. And this is not making any sense. You know, I was not really hearing her instructions. Like I heard them, but I didn't really hear them. You know what I'm saying? But I heard them. And so it did help me to figure it out. But like, so what she ended up being, they were across the street, but she did have an important note, which one of the things I retained was that we're not the church either. I remember she specifically said it like that because she was going to say like, you're going to go across the street, there's a traffic light, you're going to see. She was like, but we're not the church either. And I'm like, okay. So when I go to the light and I'm about to turn into a place, I'm like, I saw the thing where it says whatever church, Montgomery Church or something. And I'm like, oh, she said she's not the church either. So this is the wrong turning. So then I turn out, I go out and I go down. I'm like, nah, this is too far from the address. The thing is telling me to turn around. And so I'm like, whatever, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna try that again. I turn in there, and instead of turning where it directly says church, even though the church, like you can get to the church from both of the turns, but where it says church, I didn't turn there, I turned the other way, hoping that maybe it would lead me to something. And then I start seeing these red brick buildings, okay? And I'm like, okay, I think I remember her saying something about red brick buildings. You go see the clock tower. I started to see the clock tower. I'm like, this got to be the right area. But the only thing is, she made it seem like, oh, she in building 1. What? Yo, there were at least about 20 red brick buildings back there. They all look the same. How the hell, like, how am I supposed to know which one? They don't, and then these buildings don't say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They say like 100, 300, 15, yada, or 250 or something. I'm like, so then she called me again. She's like, I can tell she was irritated by that time. She was like, are you lost again? And I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm back here. I see the red buildings and I see the clock tower. And I was like, I could tell she was aggravated too because I was like, I'm passing building 100. I'm looking for 300. And she says, I'm not in 100. I'm in 3. Like she was like exacerbating air. And I'm like, man, you didn't hear me. I didn't say I was going to 100. I'm telling you that's what I'm passing. I'm trying. So then she tried to tell me like there's a Costco truck like right outside. Da, 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 da. There's a flag standing next to our building, whatever. And I'm like, oh my god, I see the Costco truck. I'm right outside, ma'am. I'm so sorry. I'm coming. So then you have to park too. That's the other freaking thing because this is not a curbside service. It is a delivery to the door. So then I have to park. And then I have to get out, and then I have to run into the building, which ended up being building 300. But then I had to walk up the stairs because the kind of building that this is only had, and then also she said 3rd floor. They only had 2 floors. Anyway, bottom line is, I finally got to some food. I really did apologize, but it was rough. And guess what? I got another order while I was in the parking lot. I ended up taking the order, and And then on the way out, I took a different direction, not even a different direction, just like another way to get out of there. And guess what I saw? This big sign that she was trying to tell me I would have seen, 4200, whatever. But guess what? I didn't come in from that side. I came in from a different direction on the highway. So I would have never seen that unless I passed up the location. So the instructions that she gave me was from her coming from that way. I didn't come from that way. I came from the other way. That was my first delivery. It was rough. I was ready to be like, I'm donezo with this. I don't have time. I don't have the energy. Okay. I take the second order. The second order was for like $81. And I was like, oh yeah, see, somebody ought to be tipping good off of this, because this is $81. At least 10% is like an $8 tip or something. I was like, okay, I'll take that. And it wasn't that far. Again, none of these are ever like far. It was like right up the street. I go in, I go to pick up the food. I'm watching the people, like they're writing the names on the food. They're checking it off on their paper. So I'm like, oh good, they're doing their stuff. This food is gonna be right. She gave me the drinks. I went to my car, and that's the thing. Like I had 2 drinks that were in like a cup, and then 2 water bottles. So I was like, oh, I hope none of this falls in the car. Like all of that is on your mind. Like I don't want anything to fall over. It was a lot of food because it was for 4 different people. They were all on the same ticket, but they were like classified as like, it was like 4 people, I think. They ordered their food. They are in a building, y'all. I swear, I was like, y'all not trying to let me live out here. Like, I don't understand. So I get there. It was literally not even that far away. Okay, when I tell you low-key, like, around the corner down the street. But the problem is, again, with these buildings, the map told me to turn in. And I did turn it into the right place. But that was the back, like, the back garage sort of entrance. But the thing is, you would think like, well, duh, you should have known that was the wrong place. No, you should not have known that was the wrong place, because even under their garage, there are doorways that when one says this is this place, like the name of the place, it has doors for you to go in. And then the other side says that it's the hotel and the name of the place and the doors for you to go in. And it looks like a regular, like there's a lobby, there's like, or not a real lobby with a person, but like a lobby area, the elevators or whatever. And that one was to go to the 6th floor. And so I'm like, oh, this must be just, what it looks like at the bottom. This is not abnormal to have to go through a like parking garage to get into somewhere. This is the city. That makes sense. So then I get down there though. And even though it looks a little weird, I was like, well, this is what the thing says. And she did say they were on the 6th floor. So it's probably going to look different once I get to the 6th floor. I go through the back. Or not through the back, but I go through the doors. It looks like I said, like a regular lobby, and there are 2 elevators. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna click these elevators, even though it says P3. Parts of my logical mind that start to kick in, where I'm like, this is not, doesn't seem like it's all the way correct. But like I go in and I'm like, P3. If it says P3, then I feel like it's probably, the other ones are probably just gonna be parking lots, but maybe not, Maybe not. So then I open the door. I go to get on the elevator, and guess what it said? P1, P2, P3. So I was like, no, this is a parking garage elevators. This is not the right thing. I go to the other door. That's like a real door that you open to go through. But you need key cards to get in there. And I saw people coming out of there. Smart thing would have been for me to ask them. Don't be afraid to ask questions. But I did not. And I went to go and open those doors, and guess what? They're locked because they are only for administration to get in and out of. I tried to use my phone. My phone was not working because it was on 4G and I was under a parking garage. Also, the DoorDash app loves to exit out on you. It is trash. It's like, okay, but literally like the amount of times today that it quit on me or had like an error or something was irritating. So I was like, I feel like this is the right location, but this is not the right location. So then I got back in my car with the food that I had lugged out. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna see maybe if there's a front way or maybe I missed something. I get in the car and I'm about to leave out. There's this big USPS truck that's going through, and guess what? He had to pay to get out. I said, oh baby, no, not me, not today. I'm not paying to use the parking lot that I need to use. And so the other side did not have the little thing, and so I went out through the entrance. I was like, I'm not paying, like, but no. So I go and I'm looking around because I'm trying to be attentive. I'm looking around. I go back to the traffic light, and guess what? There's this like jump off little entrance that you will only see if you're coming from the other side, where to go up and like up the hill to get to like where the hotel is and where the office building is. And so I made like a little U-E at the light once it turned green and went up through there. And the guy, the guy at the front desk, this was a real lobby, a real front desk. This guy is like the key holder of the whole building, or not key holder, but like the security guy for the whole building. And he was like, "How you doing?" He was like, "I saw you back there." He was like, "I wish we had an intercom. I was trying to tell you I'm up here. I'm at the front." This is black guy. But he was like, he was watching me on the camera looking like, where am I? Where am I at? And he was like, he wanted so badly to just come and tell me like, you're in the right building, just you're at the back and you need to be at the front. And so I asked him where it was, and it was on the, you know, the floor, the top floor, the 6th floor. I went up there, delivered the food, and again, that was easy. A lot of my troubles came from trying to get to the place, to be honest, 100%. Like, it was just trying to get to the place. And then, I think I did 2 other orders. They weren't as bad. The other one was for, Zoe's Kitchen. And this person works like across the street, basically. I mean, essentially, in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't across the street, but it was basically across the street. And the funny thing is, you have to put yourself in the position of the person, like when you order food, because at first I was like, yo, why is she paying for somebody to get this when it's across the street? And I also see now why maybe somebody would be thinking like, oh, they don't have to tip you because like, oh, she doesn't have to do nothing, like it's across the street. Well, think about those reasons for why you didn't want to leave to go across the street, and realize that those are, even though it is across the street, it is going to apply to me. I have to get out of the car to go pick up your food. Not a big deal, whatever. There's like a lot of places have like to-go parking. So, you know, that is not a problem. But you do work in an office building that is in an area next to the baseball fields, in an area that requires parking that is not near the entrance of your building. That is going to require me to either walk or park far away and then walk to come in. And I was like, now I see why you wouldn't want to leave. But I did find a place that had 60-minute parking, and it was right there by the thing. But I still had to like park there, walk down this little, walk down the stairs, and then walk through this thing to get up there and then go to her floor. Now, again, my day had been kind of long at this point, and so my mind wasn't working properly. So even though she said she was like in suite 1830, I wasn't registering that was the 18th floor. And so I'm just like, okay, she said 1830, but where is that? This building has nothing. And then the kind of building that is, they have like this technology screen for you to figure out what stuff is. So I'm like, okay, I know technology. I click it, I find their location, and it says what place it was, like what's the name of the establishment, and that it was in 1830. But I was like, okay, but you're still not telling me anything. What does that mean? So then I now have to call her, and I was like, hey, what floor are you on? She's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't say like the 18th floor. And I was like, oh, duh, 18th floor, 1830. So I just get on the elevator, I bring her food, and again, that was fine. Then I had to walk back out to the stairs, yada, yada, yada. And then after that, I was about done. Okay, and then you talking about, I had made like 3 deliveries, like 3 hours or so. So about a delivery an hour, if you will, which you should be able to do it faster than that. Like I said, if you eliminated the problems that I was having, you could make more money and you could deliver faster. I just was going through the struggle bus era, okay? And so then I just took on one other order, and it was actually to somebody's house, and I made it the last one because even though my shift was supposed to end at 2, I say shift, like they give you shifts as in like a time segment for you to deliver. You can always choose to stop delivering or start delivering if they have availability. And I was like, okay, I'll end it here. It was about to rain, which it is pouring right now. I didn't have my rain jacket, so that's another thing. tip. I guess you were right. Make sure you have a rain jacket or umbrella or something in the event that you get caught in weather that you were not planning for. I chose to drive out to his house. The thing is, again, most of these places are really close. You're not driving very far, but you will kind of be driving like in circles, if you will. And he was my last stop. It was at his house. It was not far, y'all. And he wasn't in the boonies or anything. It has some flying. He wasn't in the boonies or anything like that. Like, I'm being somewhat exaggerative, but once you're like already in that mode of doing stuff, everything is like exaggerated and exasperated in your mind. Okay? So I was just like, oh, child, you make me come all the way out here to come bring you some food. But it wasn't that bad. And I got there right before it was raining. He was nice. The only thing is, though, most of these deliveries, like, which is why you need to be either choose to work multiple things at a time, so like Uber Eats, Postmates, and DoorDash, and choose the best one, or bang out quick deliveries, like quick, like you know it's gonna be across the street, you know where you're going, boom, park, bring it up, done, get another delivery, or just, I mean, they say your acceptance rate is supposed to be higher, but look, most of these are people just picking up some lunch. They're already paying for the lunch. Like, I understand. They're already paying for the lunch. You get your delivery fee, and then you get whatever the tips is. Well, tips, the people don't have to tip you, but if they do tip you, they're probably going to tip you like 10 to 15%. If they're only spending, you know what I'm saying? Like, say somebody spends $20. 15% of, I could do 10%, that would be easy, but I'll do 20%. I'll do 15 because the automated thing without you having to do extra effort is 15%. So $20 times 15% is $3. So say DoorDash is paying you $5, right, to deliver the food, and then somebody tips you, say they do this 15%, then it'll be like $8. So you're making like $8. I don't know if you want to do all that work. Not even, I mean, if you're not being efficient, I don't know if you're going to want to do all that work for $8. Because today I did 4 deliveries, right? And I worked for... So my earnings for my dash session was $32.27, right? And that was one dash, and it was for 4.18 hours. And all reality, some of that was like sitting down and all of that stuff, or again, me being lost. So for the most part, we'll say it was like, say if it was efficiency, it would have been like 3.5 hours probably, right? So 4 deliveries, 3.5 hours. And I made 32, what is that? What did I say? 32.27. And we'll just say, for if you were being an efficient person and you did it in 3.5 hours, then that's like $9.22 an hour. So basically you working from anywhere between minimum wage and like $10 an hour. They tell you can make $25 an hour. And you probably can, depending upon where you live, depending upon, you know, how efficient you are and everything, or also where you're delivering. Because I was thinking about delivering in Buckhead, like I said, because it's not that far, and maybe those people might tip more because, you know, they're richer. But yeah, I don't know. Today was rough, and I was tired. My mind was tired. I'm still tired, but overall, I think I'm gonna do it for the whole week and see how the week turns out. And I'm gonna do the same thing, like the 4-hour shifts. I'm debating whether I want to do that morning thing in Buckhead and then do Smyrna, but I don't know. We'll see. That was my first day doing DoorDash. The sister is tired, but guess what? I still got work to do. I got my own work to do now. Not for DoorDash, but for like my businesses. So, what a life. I don't know how long I rambled on for, but I don't think I'm really going to cut this. I think I'm just going to put it up, and if you want to watch it, girl, you can watch it. If you don't want to watch, I say girl a lot, like dudes don't watch me, but that's just because that's just my vernacular. That's just how I talk. So don't take offense if you're a guy and you're watching this and you are not comfortable with me being like, girl, please. I'm not calling you a girl. It's just how I talk sometimes. But yeah, thank you for watching this. if you made it through. I don't know how long this is gonna be because I'm oh, I didn't say that in the beginning. I am recording on my Sony video camera and not my Canon DSLR. So I'm not on the DSLR, I'm on a video camera. Anyways, that is all. I pray that you have a good day. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched all the way through, if you want to subscribe, go ahead and do that there. If you want to go on, why am I talking like that? If you want to subscribe, subscribe. If you want to like this video, like this video. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do, but if you want to help a sister out, then do it. So yeah, have a beautiful day. Enjoy your life. And I'll see ya when I see ya. Hey! I always do that and I don't always hit the thing. Pow. I don't know. It's more wear down than you might think. And to me, I'm not saying this is hard. I'm not saying that it won't be better on another day. Like tomorrow, this might be a completely different experience. I was just telling y'all today, it was just like, for what I had in my mind, this wasn't it. You know what I'm saying?